Hello, I hope you're doing really well. It's been a while since I've done like a sit down informative video. Today we're going to dive straight in and I'm going to be showing my top 5 mistakes that I've made when trying to get visible abs and also lower my body fat, belly fat on a whole. Listen, I feel like we've all been there at some point throughout our fitness journey, like in the corner of the gym floor doing hundreds, thousands of crunches and then looking in the mirror and like wondering where on earth are my abs at. But the first mistake that I've made is doing endless sets of crunches and just random body weight exercises, not really targeted or properly done with correct form. I may have already heard this, but of course you can't spot reduce fat by targeting and training one area and isolating just your abs alone. I feel like this is a really common and easy mistake to make. I remember doing this 14-day like ripped abs challenge like in my bedroom when I was probably about like 15, 16 or something, just every night doing these random workouts and just not really getting anywhere, like looking in the mirror straight after just like, what am I doing wrong? Just doing targeted only one muscle group workouts. It doesn't help with your functional core development whatsoever. It's really important to have a solid foundation of core strengthening movements, things that you can get from your compound lifts, like things like squats, deadlifts have a massive focus on a range of different muscle groups, and then of course you've got your isolation work. So the second mistake I made was not focusing on overall body fat and nutrition. We all have a set of abs, but you know, some are covered by more fat than others and we're all genetically different in this area. And when it comes to nutrition, I made the mistake of thinking that as long as I was like going to the gym, training every day, I could just eat as many calories as I want and I would still lose weight and be able to get abs. And I did that for a long time when I was younger. I think, like I say, I'm sure this is somewhat relatable to some stage in our life. I don't know, you just think, where did that even come from? Like, I don't know where I got that belief from, or whether it was just like a lot of fads that I was reading back in the day, who knows. So what I found really helpful was building muscle first and then lowering my body fat by creating a slight calorie deficit over time, not doing anything drastic. We're not, you know, reducing our calories to ridiculously low and expecting to get abs in like a few weeks. It's been a really gradual process, and I think that's the most important thing. It needs to be maintainable and enjoyable when it does come to creating a calorie deficit. So just starting small, and then you can either build on that and just tailor it to yourself and your needs. Like, we're all completely different with our lifestyles. So when it comes to creating a calorie deficit and an energy deficit, there's so many different ways that you can do this. If you find it easier to do it like with your nutrition, I think that's, personally, I found that the most helpful and useful and easy to maintain. I found tracking my macros has helped me so much, just to educate myself around food. But of course, if this approach doesn't suit you, there's so many others. Alternatively, you could increase your energy output. So you've probably already heard the cliche, abs are made in the kitchen. That is definitely somewhat true. It's really important to make sure you're focusing on having lots of whole foods, leafy greens, your fruit and vegetables, and eating frequently, which is so key. And obviously staying hydrated. Make sure you're fueling your workouts so you've got enough energy and you're getting the most from your sessions. Next mistake I made, which was comparing my abdominals to other people's and expecting the exact same results from following someone else's ab workouts, say. This held me back for a long time because I would be following some random workouts, say on Instagram, like back in the day when I was in my first year of uni, and wondering why I wasn't, like, my abs weren't looking the same, or say if I'd get definition it'd be like slightly different. Something that I didn't know for a long time is how different our ab structures actually are. The abdomen has 4 muscle groups. So the rectus abdominis muscle has bands of connective tissue crossing it horizontally, and we're each born with a set number of these connective tissue bands, which means that you can't build additional ones. Your genetics also determine the symmetry, length and size of each of these, which is why, if you've ever wondered, like, some people have got completely different abs, or like your abs might be shorter, longer, these factors don't mean that someone is necessarily stronger. Say if yours are a slightly different shape to someone else's. As well as that, we all store fat in different places, and when we do lose overall weight, some people lose it from certain areas first. I always seem to lose weight first from my legs. Can't choose where you lose weight from first or last. My belly can sometimes be more stubborn. Other people don't carry much belly fat at all. It's just very varying, so it's pointless comparing your genetics to someone else's, and you also don't know what their lifestyle is like, if they've got like a way more active lifestyle than yourself, if you have like an office job or you're quite sedentary most of the day. All these factors come into it, so it's pointless wasting any of your precious energy comparing yourself to someone else. Even if you do have abs, like say when I've been my leanest and had really visible abs, I will sometimes eat a big meal and I will feel bloated. That is also completely normal and definitely needs to be normalized. You're not going to always walk around with solid abs. I'm sure you'll have seen on Instagram, you know, people showing like their body like throughout the day and how much it changes, it fluctuates, especially around like our menstrual times, like when we're on our periods, stuff like that. Just so important to realize like we're all just human bodies. You also don't know what you're comparing to. So say if you see a photo on Instagram, that could be first thing in the morning before they've even like had breakfast. The next mistake I've made is not actually strengthening my core or using enough resistance. And I think this is quite a big, broad misconception. So, you know, you often see people using like progressive overload, like every other body part. So they're trying to build their shoulders, their legs, going heavy with the weights and a plan. But then when it comes to core training, just doing like a random 2 sets of crunches or just a random thrown in ab workout at the end that is like 30 seconds say, and thinking that that is like sufficient to grow a strong core. So if you are trying to build strength and make your abs more prominent, add resistance just like you would with any other muscle part. Add weighted sets and plan out how you can sort of increase your intensity and progressively overload over time, just like you would any other. And I still feel like this isn't really that spoken about, but it doesn't need to be overcomplicated when you are training your core. You want to make sure you are focusing on the 3 planes of motions. So your sagittal plane, this is forward and backward movements. Your frontal plane, which is side to side movements, and your transverse plane, which is twisting and rotational movements. So there are so many benefits to having a stronger core other than just aesthetic reasons. It helps so much with having better posture, just having a more rounded physique, and will really help with your compound lifts. Lastly, a mistake that I definitely have made is not getting enough sleep. And say at times in my life when I've been really busy and getting to bed late and prioritizing say my workout over getting like an extra few hours sleep, I actually think that held me back for a while because I wasn't giving my body a chance to recover. And we all go through phases in our life that are like busier than others, and now like I really prioritize getting good sleep, having a better routine, and if that means training 1 session less a week, then so be it. That's going to also help you keep a more sort of consistent workout routine and just a more rounded approach, really. It's not just all about the aesthetics when it comes to training. So something else that's really important to mention is, as women, we require more body fat than men. So when it comes to lowering our body fat, you always want to make sure you prioritize your health over a certain body fat percentage. You need essential body fat for estrogen production, overall optimal energy levels, and healthy fertility. Having too little body fat for your body type can lead to so many complications: period loss, tiredness, and a weakened immune system. So always prioritize your health and have an understanding how we all are different. Anyway guys, that brings us to the end of today's video. I really hope this is useful and, you know, stops you guys from making some of the same mistakes I've made in the past. If you'd like some more videos like this, drop me a comment down below and I will definitely get onto that, and I'll see you in the next video.